guys, welcome back to Minky's Kitchen. I thought with Easter coming up, wouldn't it be a great idea to show you one of my favorite recipes. If you're like me, I love chocolate, but I am aware that it's not really that good for my health, and it's also not really good for my teeth. So I wanted to show you a recipe that's free from dairy, free from refined sugars, and it absolutely tastes delicious. So come with me and let me show you how to make a fruit and nut bark. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is natural peanut butter. Okay, so here we go. I'm putting the natural peanut butter. Let's try to get every last little bit out of there. Okay. So the second thing I'm going to add is maple syrup. Now, Aldi has a very good maple syrup. This is the one from Aldi, and it's very, very low budget, low cost. And it's 100% Canadian maple syrup. So we're just gently going to mix. You don't want to overwork it. Just gently going to mix to bring the peanut butter and the maple syrup together. So maple syrup counts as a natural sweetener. It's not like refined sugar that is very acidic and also is very bad for your teeth. So we just want to make sure that it's nicely incorporated because you want a smooth texture. Okay. So now the second thing third thing we're going to need is cacao, okay? Because cacao is what's going to give it the chocolatey flavor. So this is raw cacao. This is a very, very easy recipe, and it makes a lot of chocolate. You will see once it's done. Okay, now what I'm busy showing you right now is the base for the chocolate. But after this, you can become very, very creative. So for today, we're doing fruit and nut, but you can add hazelnut and cranberry. Okay, so I've just added the coconut oil, the melted coconut oil, and it's 1 cup of melted coconut oil. So that's our basic chocolate mix now ready. The original recipe asks for a cup of cacao, but I put just a half a cup of cacao. If you want to go darker, then you can add the full cup of cacao. So there we have a beautiful smooth mix that really looks like melted chocolate. Okay? Now, I'm going to add the raisin now. Now, there's no recipe for adding the raisin. You just add as much as how much you would like to have. So I was thinking about 5 tablespoons of raisin. I'm not going to incorporate the nuts right now because I want to kind of sprinkle the nuts on the top once we get it on the tray. So the last ingredient now, what I would like to show you is just vanilla. So we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Vanilla extract is a better option, but for today all I could get, you know, with the lockdown it's not, I don't go too far for shopping, so I just picked up the vanilla essence for today. Okay. So what I've done here is I prepared a tray with cling film. Just try to tuck it into all the corners. And I've got an extended bit of the cling film coming out on this side, and I'll show you just in a minute what we're going to be doing with that. So now we're going to, now this chocolate is actually being stored in the freezer. Now that is very unusual for most of you, because you probably haven't heard of chocolate being kept in the freezer. And the reason is because there's no stabilizers or anything inside this chocolate. It's all natural ingredients. So we keep it nice and solid in the freezer, but then we just leave it for a few seconds on the countertop before we're going to eat it. So we're now going to sprinkle some nuts onto this bark. I buy these nuts for 47 cents from Aldi, and then what I do is I come home, I rinse them with boiling water and then put them straight onto a tray to dry at 100 degrees, and then they're good to use for whatever I need. So now I'm going to just put the cling film over from the other side and then stretch it out nice and neatly like that. And then we're going to now use our hand on top of the cling film, because can you imagine what a mess this would be if you have to do it with your hands. And just gently kind of work the chocolate, the nuts into the chocolate. And then we come from this side and then it's all neat and tidy. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put this in the freezer, and then we'll show you what it's going to look like once it's done. Okay, so 20 minutes is finished now and our bark is ready. So we're just going to, but at this stage we have to work quite efficiently, okay? Because we don't want it to melt. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn it over onto a chopping board, but with a piece of parchment paper underneath. Okay, and then we're just going to start to, so let's just imagine how big we want to cut this. So what we're going to do now is we're going to store it to keep it in the freezer for whenever you guys need it. So just look at how beautiful that looks. So it obviously needs some more time to freeze, more firm. But this is pretty much the way it will be once we're going to be eating it. Now I have some chocolate molds as well that I use, but I didn't want to show you that because I didn't want you to feel like, oh, I don't have chocolate molds, so I'm not going to be able to do it. So I prefer to show you this way, and then you know how you can do it. And then if you do have fine chocolate molds, then you can obviously use it in the mold as well. I think the most important thing is that we should taste it. I really, Talk to you later. So, we've dealt with the physical food. Now I have to encourage you to think about the spiritual food as well. Jesus himself said, "Man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." See you soon.